NFC South, one of the biggest stories on the weekend, the call. There's not much else to that game other than every win for the Bucs is going to be a struggle. And, the Falcons are better than you think. And I would call the police on Arthur Smith with those sunglasses if he were at like a mall or something. You know what I mean?
Bad look.
You did the sketch of Frank Reich the other day. Mm-hmm. You compared Frank Reich to who was it?
Just a random police sketch of a guy who knows
I thought there was a guy that blew something up for
bones
sure.
Are buried. He probably did.
Okay.
I was just looking for
Reich looks like a sheriff in Wyoming.
Arthur Smith definitely, with those sunglasses. And the call. That call.
Jerome Boger,
who kind of stood behind the call after the game, can never go to Atlanta. And this isn't like a game that loses them a playoff spot or something like that. But you just never know. Like, this team is better than you think. What it does, lose them the game. You get a 6-point game at that point. They're coming back. And you take you take it out of their hands, dude. And Grady Jarrett, who's a hell of a player, I've seen him make 100 sacks this way.
Beast.
Get back there, kind of grab somebody behind their hips and just roll them down gently. Of course, nothing's gentle in pro football. But I know you're protecting the 45-year-old guy. The 45-year-old guy was not just okay. He was okay enough to try to kick the shit out of Grady Jarrett, which the irony in this is that there's your personal foul.
Yeah.
There's your personal foul. And I played with Tom. He's a fucking goat. I love him. But in this situation, he's fucking wrong. And he got gifted 15 yards in the game here. He got let off the hook by Jerome Boger. And this is not cruel and unusual. This is not rough. His head didn't hit the ground. This is necessary. What do you want Grady Jarrett to do? Should it be a hug fest? Like, honestly, I've always hated when people just scream into the sun. This doesn't even look like football anymore. We're playing touch football. Like, the game's violent, bro. The people that think this is touch football, watch an NFL game. It's more violent than it's ever been, almost. We've gotten some hits out of the game.
Players are bigger, faster, stronger, techniques better.
Trust me.
Guys are getting clocked.
Trust me, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking trust me, okay? It's violent. But first, it was, you can't hit guys in the head. Okay, I get that, right? I got flagged in the early 2010s for that shit. And it wasn't great. Okay, but you get used to it. Then it was, we can't hit him in the legs. All right, I guess. I'll try to be more accurate. We'll try to hit him in the strike zone. We'll form tackle him. You can't drive the guy into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I saw Baker Mayfield bailed out on a Brian Burns penalty, right? It was Gross Matos in the end zone. Nobody remembers that except for me, but that was a couple weeks ago. And it's like, what do you want him to do? It's a perfect form tackle. You're hitting him in the strike zone. You're depositing him on the ground. And now we can't sling him. We can't set quarterbacks down. So I really don't.
The sling word is important. And I'm in 100% agreement that Grady Jarrett's sack was within the framework of the rules. There was nothing malicious that he was doing. He was sacking Tom Brady. And to your point, the verbiage of sling, I think we with Tua hitting the ground in that snapping sling motion, anytime you're falling back like that, Boger might have just like a little bit of PTSD from what he's seen the last few weeks, and he wants to be on top of it.
That's what I think.
He was in panic reactive mode when he saw it happen, and then he was like, "Oh, and he's 50. Throw the flag."
I also think now, Kyle, that this might have been a makeup call.
What?
So at the beginning of the first half,
you're not Kyling me. He was,
and you might not remember this because why would you be watching this game at the end of the first half? It looked ugly. But Atlanta is hustling to sub, inside 2 minutes. The refs forgot the rules, right? And Tampa's trying to hurry up and get a chance to score a touchdown. They have to settle for a kick. So that's 4 points there. I get it. Like, you blew that call. Maybe this is a makeup, but you really shouldn't be doing that. Not in crunch time. And I'm not accusing him of doing a one-for-one kind of makeup call deal here, but that's the only thing I can think. If you're an Atlanta fan, I would point to the end of the first half, which doesn't excuse this, but both teams got away with some stuff yesterday.
And Tom Brady said, "Hey, I don't throw the flags."
I don't throw the flags.
Grabs him on the hips, kind of the belly button hips.
Yep.
And it is a sling, but what makes the sling better is that he keeps his arm around him.
Yep.
Like, he breaks his fall a little bit. He doesn't just ragdoll him.
Bro, it's the sideways prom pick. That's what I'm going to call it from now on.
Yeah.
You're penalizing the sideways prom pick.
Yep.
Like,
damn.
It's gentle, dude. Honestly.